The time has come for this. Well, this is it, my good friendos. I just saw Zootopia 2, and I was fairly cautiously optimistic going into this movie. I think it's abundantly clear that I adore the first Zootopia. It is my second favorite Disney movie, only behind The Lion King. It's got a great story to tell, the characters are interesting and relatable, there are emotional moments that land, it's pretty funny, and overall a good time. But what makes this movie stand out is that it got political without making you feel like the message was being shoved down your throat. So when I heard that they were going to make a sequel to this movie, I was both excited and nervous at the same time. Outside of Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine, Disney has just been failing across the board, especially when it comes to the box office, which led me to think, oh no, Zootopia is probably going to be the next thing that Disney is going to ruin. And then the trailers came out. The first one definitely captured the exact same vibe as the teaser from the first film by not revealing too much of the plot. The second trailer was probably my least favorite because they used a Lizzo song in it instead of Business by Eminem. Trust me, it would have been so much better if they did that. The final trailer was by far the best out of all of them that I wanted to get excited, but I thought to myself, I don't know, this could end up going the other way. You can't fool me, Disney. You're not gonna look me in the eye and tell me that I'm gonna get excited and drop my cautious optimism because I know that's not true. Ever since the final trailer dropped, I've been avoiding spoilers and leaks on the internet, and when it was finally time for me to witness it, I chose to go in blind, not looking at any of the reviews that were published by either the critics or the audiences, which is actually something that I haven't done with a theatrical release since TMNT Mutant Mayhem. Yeah, remember that movie, kids? But like, there ain't no way in this entire universe that Zootopia 2 is gonna exceed the original film. I mean, I gave that film a 9 out of 10, and as I mentioned, it's my second favorite Disney movie up to this date, that is, if you don't include the other properties that Disney has bought. Surely it can't be that good. Hi-ho everyone, this is Ronan here, and I just got out of Zootopia 2, and oh boy, I do have some thoughts on it. So let's not waste any time, and let's hop right into the review, shall we? Har har har, funny animal puns. Anyway, let's roll it! Oh my god. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Zootopia 2 is even better than the original film. I genuinely mean that. The fact that this came from the same team as the first film, but also Encanto, you know, the movie that I call overrated, made a sequel that goes full Terminator Judgment Day and knocks the original out of the park. After an entire decade of misfires from Walt Disney Animation Studios, this sequel comes in like, okay, my turn. And by God, did they nail this one big time. Even though it has the exact same runtime as its predecessor, it was just enough to end up making me satisfied by the end. You can tell that everyone involved with 8 years of production on this movie, yes, this was in development since 2017, and it shows, had the time of their lives making this movie. There are so many layers this movie has that makes it a great successor to the original. It does an excellent job of expanding the world of Zootopia, while also introducing us to a variety of animals we haven't seen in the original. I'm not just talking about the reptiles, no. We're talking sea creatures, bobcats, horses, everyone's here. Okay, maybe not birds, we'll have to wait till later, sorry. One thing I was worried about going into this movie was the animation and color saturation, because given with what Moana 2 did, the colors were extremely dark and grainy, and even the ocean felt drab and lifeless. I mean, can you really blame them? That was supposed to be a Disney Plus series and not a theatrical release, which explains the cheap animation style at some points in the movie. Thankfully, that wasn't a problem here. As a matter of fact, the animation, while nothing really special or groundbreaking, is vibrant and colorful. It's not just the water. The snow has plenty of moments to shine in the film's backgrounds, from Nick and Judy's investigation at the gala to the epic showdown between the villain, which we'll get to later. Speaking of which, Ginnifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman are still great in their roles as Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde. Watching their partnership unfold on screen despite their differences is and will always be satisfying. I don't know about you, but I think it's nice that from beginning to end, Nick and Judy are not in a romantic relationship, which makes sense because they just became partners about a week ago. Also, I personally think having them as a couple is not a good idea. Many side characters from the first film are back, except for Yax and Lionheart. Chief Bogo has a little less screen time this time around, and the same applies to the other iconic characters from the original, like Mr. Big, Clawhauser, and yes, even the one and only Flash 100-yard dash. But despite the lack of screen time, they were still able to be interesting, even though Bogo was only there for a few scenes and then absent until the end. There are also tons of new characters, starting off of course with Ke Huy Quan as Gary D. Snake. The character just warms my heart. It just goes to show that this actor has a sweet and soothing voice, as well as a soul full of fortune and glory. Every single time that Snake was on screen, I had the biggest smile on my face. Like, how could you not love this Snake? At first I thought he was gonna be an annoying character, but he's more like Perito from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, where you think he's gonna be an annoying little prick throughout the entire journey, but once you actually watch the movie, you feel sympathy for him and what he's been through. Nibbles was another character that I expected to be annoying, especially with that "hey bub" joke in the trailers. But I actually found her pretty funny. Don't really have that much to say about her, but she's funny. The new mayor is voiced by Patrick Warburton, and yep, he's still very funny just like any of his past roles. Honestly, seeing him in a Disney film again really feels so good. And then we have Pawbert. Yeah, I pretty much saw it coming from a mile away that he was going to be the main villain of the movie, but unlike Bellwether, he's actually more intimidating and more threatening than this dweeb little sheep. Yes, she does return in this film, but only for the middle chunk of this movie. Anyway, back onto Pawbert. Andy Samberg was the perfect choice for this role. His youth-like voice suits the character and his personality altogether. That still doesn't mean that I'm gonna give him a pass outside of his threatening nature. You know, maybe it's clear to me that the Zootopia films aren't quite the best at making twist villains. Why not do a Zootopia movie with a clear villain? I thought we were done with the whole twist villain thing, Disney, you liar! And that's not all. The emotion really hits hard. Believe me when I say this, but I cried not once, but twice during this movie. I don't think you already know this, but I haven't cried during a movie since Avengers Endgame. I never thought a Zootopia movie would make me cry, but it did. I had the waterworks going from the third act breakup, and then at the end. One of those times I genuinely felt sad, and the other was more like tears of joy, but I'll discuss it later down the pipeline. Suffice it to say, Zootopia 2 is a great movie, and it feels like a breath of fresh air after all the garbage that Disney has put out as of lately. I never thought I would say this, but this is now my second favorite Walt Disney Animation Studios film, placing it right behind The Lion King. And this is a sequel. Now, does that mean that Disney can still be trusted? Well, maybe. It's difficult to explain, but I do know one thing. Jared Bush was the right pick to replace Jennifer Lee as the leader of Walt Disney Animation Studios, and I couldn't be even more happier, especially when it came to this movie. 9 out of 10. Oh, sorry.
I really am just a dumb bunny.
I swear I mentioned that it's better than the first film. Let's see. I gave the first film a 9 out of 10, and I said that this is better than the original. Well, if that's the case, better be 9.5 out of 10. There we go, that's the score. By all means, go see it. Even if you're just about done with Disney, this is a must-watch hands down. Thank you and good night.